Welcome back to the Stephan Show. My name is Graham, and welcome to my show. And we got some really just crazy stories to cover today. And we're going to be trying this new segment on the Stephan Show where we're going to be covering just the nuttiness of the world. So one, we're going to be covering Softbank market manipulation and exactly why the stock market might be posed to just go down a ton. Because basically Softbank is doing some bigger brain stuff, and they're manipulating the price of the stock market, allegedly. So we'll talk about that. And then number two, we're going to be talking about Dr. Dre's divorce, because everyone has been asking me my thoughts on the whole Dr. Dre divorce thing. And for those who are not aware, his estranged ex-wife now wants $2 million a month in spousal support. And I'm not going to be commenting necessarily on that, but we got to go over her expenses, because her expenses are absolutely insane. She breaks down exactly how she spends her $2 million a month. It is ridiculous. So anyway, with that said, make sure to destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and we'll begin right here. As you guys might have seen, the market recently has been going down for what seems like absolutely no apparent reason at all. It's just one day, look at that, everything is red, makes absolutely no sense, and we kind of chalk it up to, well, no one really knows what's going to happen. It was just a kind of a sense of randomness there. Some days it's up, some days it's down. But now we might know the cause behind this recent market downturn, if you even want to call it that. But that's because of this company called Softbank. Now, Softbank is like this conglomerate holding company with a whole bunch of money. And what they do is they make investments. They either buy into different companies, they have ownership stakes in companies, or now they're doing the Wall Street bets option, and that is call options. So here's just a really quick, simplified example of what a call option is. You will pay, let's just say, $1 for the option of buying, let's say, a $100 stock for $100 at some point in the future. So you pay $1 now, and if that stock goes up to $110 in the future, then all of a sudden you've 10x'd your money. Well, guess what? Softbank did that with technology companies, and specifically one of the main ones was Tesla. So because I can't explain this as well as 100% BRKB can, here's the Explain Like I'm 5 as he posted on r/stock market. Imagine Softbank buys a Tesla call option from Goldman Sachs for $1. That Tesla call option gives Softbank the right to buy Tesla share from Goldman for $500. Goldman Sachs wants to make sure they could easily sell a Tesla share to Softbank for $500, even if the Tesla share price jumps to $650 overnight. So Goldman Sachs buys a share of Tesla at the current market price, say $475, to hedge the call option that he sold to Softbank. Now that Goldman Sachs owns a $475 Tesla share, he could sell it to Softbank for $500, no problem. In this way, Softbank spends $1 to buy a call option, and in doing so forces Goldman Sachs to buy a Tesla share for $475. The big news is that Softbank spent more than $4 billion buying call options, and in doing so forced market makers to purchase hundreds of billions of dollars worth of shares. This distorted the stock market. Softbank's leveraged speculation produced or amplified a huge stock market bubble. So here's a good analogy here. Imagine like every $1 you put in was the equivalent of you buying a $500 stock, and now all of a sudden you put billions of dollars in the market. Well, all of a sudden that's going to drive up the price of the stock market. It's almost like in this way they can manipulate the stock market to go up in price, and then they could slowly begin to cash out, which allegedly is what they started doing, which caused the entire stock market to plummet over the last few days, especially Tesla and a lot of the technology companies. Another way of putting this is like Softbank essentially forced hundreds of billions of dollars to go into the stock market, buying up these stocks, inadvertently boosting up the price. So in reading some of these comments on Reddit, it's pretty interesting to see what people have to say about this. One, we got synaesthesics. What is this? Synaesthesis. Okay, here we go. So we got this one. Synaesthesis X. This dude literally just YOLO'd his investor funds into OTM, Amazon, Apple, Tesla, and NVIDIA calls. He needs to be a mod over at the you-know-where, which is Wall Street Bets. I think he would fit in perfect. He would be the master of everyone at Wall Street Bets. He would have the power to delete entire threads. He could basically just do whatever he wants at this point. It's remarkable. Then we got this comment, get going fast. It's a game of musical chair. It's a game of musical chairs. It's a game of musical chairs. He's trading options, not exercising it. Buy a ton of OTM call options, sell it to a greater fool, and pull the rug by selling stocks and OTM call price drop like a rock. Or again, if you want to simplify it, they're basically just boosting up the price of the stock, and then as other people start buying into it because it's going up, they could start selling off, and then all of a sudden the market drops. But by then, they've already made all their money, and now somebody else is left holding the bag. And finally, last but not least, we got this one we got to talk about briefly. Dr. Dre's estranged wife explains why she needs $2 million in monthly spousal support. So just for reference here, Dr. Dre is worth about $1 billion, and he made a significant portion of his money selling Beats by Dre to Apple for something like $700 or $800 million. And he was married to his wife, I believe, for about 24 years. So she filed for divorce and wants $2 million a month. And you might think $2 million a month, like, how is it possible to even spend that amount of money? Like $2 million a year is significant. It's significant. I mean, that is just like FU money to anybody. It's just that is outrageous. Like, there's no possible way you could even spend that amount of money. But she broke down exactly what her expenses are. Now, keep in mind, this would be like millennial money. Just it doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense, but let's just go over this, okay? Here we go. TMZ broke this story. Nicole Young wants $2 million to cover her expenses. That's just her expenses. You know how I always talk about living frugally and like living below your means? This goes out the window here. This just makes no sense at all. Here's the breakdown. Laundry and cleaning, $10,000 a month in laundry and cleaning. Now, here's the thing, like I could think maybe on this planet is there a way to spend let's just say $3,000 a month on laundry and cleaning. Let's just say that's like cleaning a mansion, having someone full-time, like 12 hours a day, cleaning every spot of your mansion, like you're walking down the hallway and someone is behind you just sweeping up everything. So I guess it's possible. Laundry could be expensive. Like if you're doing dry cleaning of like $15,000 garments, someone's doing that by hand with steam, making sure it's all nice and perfect. I think that's possible. It's maybe possible. But she wants $10,000 a month on that. Okay, next thing though, clothes. $135,000 a month in just clothing. There's no way any reasonable human being would ever need $135,000 a month in clothes. Now, I'm thinking of this from the perspective of just like, how do you spend that much? That's going to the store every single day and buying buying a brand new outfit. But even then, like even if you go to Gucci and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna spend $3,000 a day, every day at Gucci, and just whatever I buy that morning, I'm gonna wear all day long. That would still be $45,000 cheaper. $45,000 cheaper to spend $3,000 a day at Gucci than what she wants, $135,000 a month in clothing. Now, I have a hard time wrapping my mind around this because I'm like, $135,000 a month. I just want to know what she's buying. Because she's obviously not doing any sort of Labor Day sales. She's not shopping on Black Friday. She's buying the best of the best and then just never wearing it again. It would be impossible to spend that much on clothing. But then we got this one here. Education. Tuition and living expenses, $60,000 a month. What sort of education are you buying for $60,000 a month? There is nothing, at that point, at $60,000 a month, you don't need to learn anymore. What's the point of learning if you got $60,000 a month? You don't need to know anything. All you need to know is you got $60,000 a month to spend. That's it. There is no education ever that should cost $60,000 a month. And you can't even learn how to spend $60,000 a month like that on education. But anyway, we got more here. We got entertainment. $900,000 a month in entertainment. $900,000. What is so entertaining that you can't do with $50,000 a month? $60,000. It's impossible. That would be, what is she doing for $900,000? That's basically the equivalent to buying like a used McLaren P1 every single month as your entertainment. Like even a food budget. Imagine if you spend $3,000 a day in food. $3,000 a day. That's entertaining. Even that would be 1/9 of what she spent. I don't get what she would need to spend $900,000 a month on entertainment. The only way she could do that is by chartering her own like 747 Max with all of her friends and paying for a small country of people to go and hang out with her. There's no sensible entertainment that costs that much. You know what's entertaining? YouTube. If you don't like watching the ads, YouTube Premium's like $20 a month. That's really entertaining. I spend hours a day on that. $900,000 a month. Next one, we got this one. Okay. This is a nice one. $125,000 a month in charitable contributions. Then we got this one, the mortgage. Mortgages are expensive, guys. $100,000 a month for a mortgage payment. Jeez, she's probably living in a $15 million spot. And I wouldn't expect any less from Dr. Dre's wife. A $15 million place. She's got to live in luxury. It sounds crazy for me to say this, but I think from everything here, the mortgage is probably the most reasonable thing. That, I think, is probably the only thing that I could be like, okay, maybe he pays the mortgage, $100,000 a month for him. It stings, no matter who you are, but still, it's not like $900,000 a month on just entertainment. That I think is ridiculous. And then we got this one. This is actually probably the most insane one from all of them. Telephone, cell phone, and email. $20,000 a month. I don't know how you spend that. There's even if you're playing Angry Birds all day long, there's no way that's going to cost you $20,000 a month. There's no way if you're playing Minecraft all day and you're buying all the cool features. That's not $20,000 a month. Let's say telephone bill. Let's say she gets like the best telephone in the world, the best cell phone plan ever. $300 a month, maybe $500 a month. Let's just say $500 a month. A telephone and cell phone. You don't need a telephone and a cell phone. You just get a cell phone. Email. What are you paying? Like even Yahoo Premium is like $9, $10 a month. Max. This should maybe be, if you're trying really hard, this has got to be like if you're really trying, like $600 a month. She wants $20,000 a month. Then we got this. TMZ reports Dre is currently covering Young's expenses, which includes the cost of chefs, security, and maintenance for their home in Malibu, where she primarily resides. Which, that's on their relationship, and there have been reports that a prenup was signed and that she's challenging it. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to get into that. That is for them to decide and for lawyers to decide. But we're just going to go over just her expenses, just how she needs to spend $2 million a month is insane. Is absolutely insane. No human being, I think, needs to spend $24 million a year, like the $900,000 a month on expenses during a time where you can't really go out. A lot of stuff is closed down. It's not like she's going to bowling night. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's only so expensive because everything is shut down. So for her to go and like do this stuff and like go bowling or play indoor golf with her and all of her buds, she's got to rent the whole place out. That can't be cheap, especially if she wants to do that in other countries and she needs her own private chartered jet. You know the saying that fact is often stranger than fiction? I think this is one of those times where you can't make this stuff up because it's so wild. So anyway, guys, that's today's episode today. I hope you guys enjoyed just a little bit of a different thing. We're not reacting to necessarily a millennial money. This is reacting to someone's just insane spending. It's absolutely ridiculous, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this where I'll go through stories and such. Let me know, and I will do more of these. And if you don't like them, just let me know that too. Just be totally honest. Any constructive criticism or feedback is greatly appreciated. And of course, with that said, make sure to destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, feel free to add the podcast, The Iced Coffee Hour. New episodes being posted every single Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have some really cool guests on that podcast. So if you're not already subscribed, feel free to do that down below. And lastly, Webull is going to be giving away a totally free stock now worth at minimum $8 all the way up to now $1,600. So instead of them giving 2 stocks, one of the stocks is usually like $2 to $3. The other is usually like $12. Now it's minimum $8 all the way up to $1,600. That's when you deposit $100 on Webull. Use the link down below in the description. Let me know which free stock you get. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.